Alright, here we go again, playing Wounded Waters Bleeding against Scottland 6. We're going for the cross-healing build, starting Serene and going into Water's Taste of Ruin. And honestly, I'm not quite sure what to expect from this matchup, so let's just play it and see. I would assume that being bad at cities will come back to bite me, but you know, probably not enough so we lose. I don't think Scottland has any setup rules, so I'll just start with Mountain, and I think Mountain is, like, ideally we would like to have scenic coastal land, because that allows us to, I think on the initial Explorer I don't get any towns, so I would have saved one town. Also, what are these explorers? Alright, I'm seriously considering playing something like Razor Sharp Undergrowth here. Which, you know, honestly, not so good. I mean, generally speaking, don't like the card that much, but it has its uses, except here it kinda doesn't, right? Let's see, I use it in land 4. First of all, I can't, because it's blighted. But even if I could, I kill that Explorer, I wilds it, and then, after the Ravage they still get a town there, so it's not even saved for later. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I think this is Favor of the Sun and Starless Sky. Or I guess Haunted? Haunted also does Fear. I quite like that. And extra defend. I mean, is there any reason to play Hazards because it's free? Not really. I wouldn't hate spreading that disease, but or that beast for that matter. I'm not sure. Is that one extra defense relevant? Sometimes. I just pick that. So yeah, already up for a challenging start, but surely it'll work out, right? I've got to move a presence though. Let's move it here. It has more Dahan, so that is good, and that I need to be here in the long term. You always have to be connected. Whatever. Let's start there. Potential payoff for events. Kill that Explorer. Flip that event and ignore it. Hardworking settlers. Happy to flip that, to ignore that. Build a town. Explore into wetlands. Go on, and then use one, set that to Anima. Use Sanguinary Taint, 1 Fear, kill that Explorer. Alright, 2 lands solved. Time passes, gain a minor. I've seen 1 animal card in 8 cards. And I think I've seen 1 water card in 8 cards. And the animal card is pretty bad. And the water card is pretty okay, honestly. But I feel there's only so many non-animal cards I want to try. Is that true? Maybe I'm okay with drafting some... Like, for example, I could use Twilight Folk that brings Magnus on land 3. And it would save me 2 Blight. So presumably that's just correct, right? And yeah. Where's this? Might do the same. I'm not sure, but I think it's right to do that. Kind of feels bad to do it now. I'm thinking play it on here, so when the city gets built we strive the city, and then we push out the Dahan, which is sad I suppose. And then it only has a town. And the town I can pull with Trot to the Water's Edge. Or I could defend it with Haunted. So I have some options there. But it means that the Dahan push that I get from there does not downgrade anything, because I'm playing a turn 2. And that's always sad, right? I think I'm moving into here. Am I gathering any blight? The answer is not yet. I could also haunted this land, but I'm thinking probably find a better use for haunted later. If also I could play 0-cost cards, that wouldn't be bad. The downside would be I would have really short reclaim cycles later on, but maybe I just go for a major then? I'm not sure. Or I could do that. Honestly, like, disease is not bad against the adversary, right? Since they have the bad habit to build in, like, in lands in coastal lands. And they build cities really quickly, and I don't like cities. So here's something else I could be doing. I could draw to the water's edge that town. Instead of Twilight Fog Brings Madness. Then next turn, this will be in exactly the same state, and next turn I could Haunted it. If I wanted to. So maybe that's fine. Yeah, that seems like a better way to do that, and I doesn't require me to play Twilight Fog. So I guess that's what we're doing. It also gets me more presence on the board, which I like. Gambling this land, I don't mind at all. It's not that I don't want to defend it, it's that I think I can find a better use for my defend later on. I guess that's how you can say it. So, we're gathering this into here. That land's gonna go through anyway if it comes up. So, and it's not gonna be any worse just because it has 2 more damage. So we're gathering that turn into here. And then we flip the event card, and let's seek new farmland. In each land with 2 or more towns. Well, we don't have any. And then... oh, it's the rarest engage on your own terms save. I like it. Plague Spring, Fear and Death. Sorry, let's go through in order. Seek new farmland, we can ignore. Plague Spring, Fear and Death. Sure, we get 1 fear, I like that. And then I lose a Dahan. I don't like that, but there's no Dahan in there, so I don't lose a Dahan, so everything is good. And then engage on their own terms. Dahan have first strike, but they only do 1 damage. Most of the time that is terrible. This turn, that's great. It's one of the possible ways to save that land. So what happens is that in Ravage, the Dahan strike first, kill that town, and then I guess one of the Dahan take 1 damage. And I don't take any blood at all. Then I build in land 3. And I do not draw... what is it? Jungle, which is nice. I knew that I was not gonna draw coastal. Also, I almost forgot, I got towns here. For the... I don't know, man. The Scotland 6 makes Scotland so weird. Before that, it's such a coastal focused adversary, and now it's just an everything focused adversary. There's still something I'm missing. Yeah, it's the escalation town. I haven't decided where to put that yet. In the lands with the fewest towns. So it's 5 or 7, right? I would not like 7, so let's do 5. And those are my only options. So in slow, I still have 1 in 8. Can't really use it for much, honestly. Only for the hand movement. Because, I mean, pushing explorers doesn't really do anything in 8. Yeah. So next turn I'll also have bad in 8, so too bad. I think I would like to get some Dahan out of up here and down there. The issue is I don't really want to push him in land 8 because I think I might just let that go. Like, if I have to choose between land 8 and land 1, I'm saving land 1 because it double blinds, right? So I'm not pushing the Dahan in there. Which means I guess I push him in here. Yeah, and maybe the Dahan and land 1 are useful. Alright, time passes. Let's draft some records. Okay, okay. I love Sky's Herald in this particular build. And I think also that I'm forgetting Draw to the Water's Edge, probably. I think maybe next turn. I like having more presence on the board, but there's also some bad events that having that card would be good for, so I can forget it. So I would need to move a presence. Well, let's just forget it this turn, I'm thinking. That allows me to not sacrifice a presence, but rather place in here. That seems pretty good. So, Sky's Herald has a couple of options. It cannot save land 3, because land 3 has no chase in Dahan, because the board Dahan position is so awkward. But I think I'm playing that for sure. Call of the Dahan Ways. In theory, I could play Haunted by Primal Memories together with all of the Dahan Ways this turn. Oh, maybe I need that, huh? Do that, and then play this, and then replace a town and still get like one of my innate, I suppose. Yeah, I do need to play a water card this turn, is the issue. I cannot play Sky's Herald. Although the water card could also be one of these two. Because I need to heal water, and this card has no elements. Is there a world in which I don't use any of the two? And the answer is use Haunted, and the answer is no, right? Actually, yeah, I guess it's the world in which I play Roiling Ruin. But how about I don't do that? I really need some quality cards with animal. What would I replace? So, if I play that together with Haunted this turn, then the town dies in Ravage to the Haunted defend, and the town here gets replaced with the Dahan. Which means against normal adversaries, 3 Dahan against the city is just something you can let go. And you're like, ah, I guess I lose a Dahan and I take a blight, but I kill a city for it. Worth it, right? It's this adversary not that easy. I would have to do something there then or I probably would have to do something there. Because I don't want to take 3 blight, right? Also, I think I'm supposed to gather that into here for adjacency purposes. So, this seems like that is not bad, but it's not great either. I guess the same could be said about Sky's Herald. I'm not sure. Like, Sky's Herald, really good card. Call of the Dahan Ways. I am in the rare position where I could hit the kicker. I'm still thinking I'm taking that. It's not like I'm playing Haunted more than once, so it's not like I'm going to hit the kicker for Dahan, Call of the Dahan Ways more than once. So, Wreck doesn't really do much here, huh? But I need something for next turn. Okay, so here's a question. What if I don't play that this turn? What if I play something like Haunted? What if I play these 2 cards? The issue then is that solves land 1, but it doesn't solve address land 3 at all. So, but it seems to me that I can't solve land 3 this turn and land 1 next turn, or at least I don't see the way to do it. If I play Haunted this turn, and something like Sky's Herald, and still heal Serene. That is where having to heal Serene comes in clutch again, in all the bad ways. So if I do that, I play Sky's Herald and Haunted by Primal Memories and heal Serene. Then I could gather the Dahan into here and quick and downgrade the town, so they only build a town, not a city, so the status is an explorer and a town next turn. But then next turn I only play slow cards, so they will ravage. Whereas if I play these 2 cards, then what I can do is I can gather a Dahan into here, downgrade the town, then they build a town, and then they build an explorer and a town, and then I can just wreck with Wailing Reef, and they're out of there. So it seems like I need 2 cards to deal with that, and I still have my slow. If I play these 2 cards, I could still heal Serene. I would just give up on all of my innates. Yeah, that is the other issue. Are there any cards in my draft that would have solved the issue? What if I play Roiling Bog here instead of Haunted by Primal Memories? Something like... Wait, then I don't have Sky's Herald. If I Roiling Bog, that also solves 3. And then is there anything I can do? I could play Wreck. And then that would... Oh wait, that would mean I still have Haunted for next turn. Let me think on that. Maybe that is just... Yeah, right. And I think that is what I have to do. Man, it hurts, but I'll do it, I guess. It burns the 2 Blight Cascades. So what this allows me, drafting Roiling Bog instead of Sky's Herald, is to solve land 3 and still have Haunted next turn. And have good innates this turn and have good innates next turn. Playing a no element card and still heal water. It basically ticks all the boxes. Except that I have to draft a worse card. But you know, you do what you have to. Okay. So, 1 fear, at least something, right? And I get a reminder token for defend 2 and isolate. I guess like this. And that is my quick. Then Harvest Bounty Harmless Dust. I'm still healthy and now I get punished for it. Actually, how is that worded? Choose a land with buildings ravaged there. I mean, it has to be land 3. I guess it means the Dahan doesn't participate twice. It does not participate in ravage, it says, and this says ravage there. So I guess we're just gonna choose land 3. Okay. That is another thing I don't like. I would have really liked for the town to die. That makes consequent explorers better. But I guess if it explores this turn, then I still de-isolate. Anyway, so Harvest Bounty Harvest does top, nothing happened. My beast does nothing. I'm used to that by now. And then, actually, funnily, coordinated strikes happen so rarely, but this time it kills a town. So, you know, actually quite okay. Usually not okay, but this time I'm alright with what that did. Alright, seek safety. Yeah, I can push explorers. That is absolutely not helpful on the sports stage. I can't even. Like, the only explorers are in these lands, and there's no adjacent land that has more buildings in either case. Alright, we ravage here, and again the Dahan is not counterattacking, but the land is saved. And then we build that city here. And that city here. Right, and the after ravage, I got a town in here that I forgot to place. Scotland after ravage, man. And then we explore into mountain. I think that's good. And then I have to place a town in here due to the escalation. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded wetlands here too, because then at least I would have gotten wetlands out of the way while I still had the isolate. Anyway, that's my everything else. Now I'm in slow. What do I need for land 1? I am Serene now. It has not become relevant yet, but it's about to become relevant. I see the cards that I drafted and I cry. Alright. So I have Wreck. That would be a good solve for land 4. And I have either Swell and Spill 2 or Swell and Spill 1 Sanguinary Taint 1. And what I need is to solve land 1. And land 1 can be defended by 3. So basically I need to get the town out of there. And that's that. I could do it with Swell and Spill 2, but I think I'd rather not. Because I don't want to move a Dahan out of there, and using it just to push a town is kind of a waste. I could actually just push a Dahan into there. Wouldn't hate it. I think I could do something with the Dahan that are in here, right? Could swell and spill a Dahan into there. You know what? That doesn't look too bad. Also, I should not forget the loss condition. It comes up rarely, but if I get a city in there, I lose. So maybe let's start on that. I'm swell and spilling from here into here. And no, I guess into here. And the other one goes there. Maybe? No, there, probably. Is that right? Yeah. And then that downgrades that town in here. Out of the two Dahan pushes, I need to choose one. And I guess I can only choose the one with the presence. And then I'm setting that to animal. Sorry, animal is 8, not 5. Sorry, what am I doing? Yeah, sanguinary taint. And then one fear, snipe that, push the Dahan into here, start downgrading these cities. And then I'm going to wreck with Pen and Grief, 2 fear, push all of this stuff into there perhaps. I mean, it's either into land 8 or into land 2, because it's the only lands where it downgrades. I'm not sure which is worse, but I think land 8 is probably better, because it doesn't, like, cascade when it ravages successfully. Alright, and I think that was my slow. And now my whole board is solved. I mean, except for land 8, but I mean, who cares about land 8, right? So I move that to here, and I draw the blight to... I actually don't have enough blight on this board, huh? So if I put it to here, I kind of wanted to chase into land 6 if I can. I guess I needed to chase into... I guess I'm putting it into here. Needed to chase into land 3. Gain energy. Gain 3 more energy, I suppose. And then, I mean, the elements are okay. I still get a second. How many? I should be at 6 presents, right? And I'm at 5. So, yeah, I've not placed that yet. I've just moved presents so far. I get a new one too. Maybe I want to be in land 6. That's what I'm thinking. And then I'm gonna have a city in there, but with a presence in that land, maybe I can downgrade it in the slow or something. And then that would work. Also, next turn I'll have Water Sensitive Ruin, so I can kill one city a turn. Alright, let's do that. Have I flipped for quick yet? Let's just do it now. 1 fear and 3 defend in land 1. That was that. Let's hope the event is not catastrophic. Last one was okay. The Struggles of Growth. I could destroy 2 presents and gain a power card. I was more interested in that last turn. I could forget a power card and gain 2 energy and move my presence. I don't think I hate that. I have power cards that I can't forget at little cost to me. And 2 energy is always nice. And maybe I want to move my presence, I'm not sure. But certainly not bad. Probably better than destroying 2 presents. Although destroying 2 presents and gaining a power card doesn't sound terrible either. I'd go down to 4 presents, but that might be fine, and I really need some good power cards. So between 2 energy and a power card. It's hard to say what's correct. I think it has to be the energy, and then just go for a major. And probably draft garbage again, but still win the game, I guess. That's how we're going for the win. So, I gain 2 energy, I forgot a power card, that is bad. Let's get haunted. And then I get to move some presents. I'm kinda not so happy with that sacred site in here. I think I want my sacred sites in here and in here in the long term, right? Maybe. But otherwise I'm quite alright. I guess I could move that into here. and the rest can stay. Oh, I no longer reach that at all. No, I need to stay in there. Maybe I just move that. Yeah, that seems fine. Actually, I guess I kind of maybe do it like that then. Yeah, that covers everything but 7 and 3. And 7 and 3 I can cover from 4 next turn. That seems fine. And that was the Strikers of Growth with the option to leave behind that which restrains me. Then Irregular Outbreak. I ignore disease this turn, but I get 1 fear. That is fine by me. That is good timing for that. And then Dahan Defend, which, you know, always appreciated. We Ravage. We take our first Blight and we add a town to that land. I think that land is basically in save range if it comes up. In land 4 nothing happens, in land 6 they build a city. I'm not sure, maybe I want Sands to come up? Huh. Now I kind of need to take care of my mountains, huh? Still terror level 1. And the next card is Coastal. Maybe I could flip that upside down, huh? So, at least I've got rid of that city. I was thinking I need Bloodwater and Bloodlust so that in the worst case, if something happens here, I can prevent that city build so not to lose to the lost condition. Now I'm thinking maybe use it on land 4. But I also, there's some argument to use it on land 6. I guess land 4 isn't bad. The reason being that they don't insta-build a city then, because currently I'm looking at the Scotland special, with the Ravage adding a town and then the following build instantly upgrade building a city on top of that. I guess that already adds a disease to land 3, right? Absolutely not overpriced. Let's just do that, I suppose. My board is so large, man. So much stuff on it. It's time I start doing something about it. So things I could be doing. Solving land 6. And maybe preventing some of these city builds, I suppose. I mean, I'm looking at 4 city builds this turn, honestly. I guess 3. Land 6 would build a town. No, it would also build a city. Land 6 would also build a city. Of course it would. Of course it would. So, I could snipe that. It would not be hard. But it's barely doesn't make a difference. Because they're gonna respawn there anyway. Unless I Roiling Bog the land. I don't really have a good solution. Due to that town being there, I can't really... Like, one way to do that would be sinking and retaining that land. What do I need for here for next turn? I have... What is Taste of Ruin? And I probably hit it at full strength. So I'll kill the city and push out a town in an Explorer. And then push out, like, another... Kill another Explorer with Boon of Corrupted Blood. And so basically that land is already solved, right? It'll have one Dahan and an Explorer, and that seems just perfect. So land 6 is solved for next turn, so I just need to focus on land 3, and then on land 4 and land 7 a little bit as well. I still have Bloodwater and Bloodlust, so I guess we're gonna use that for land 4. Might eat the Explorer, doesn't make a difference, but you know, who knows. Or I could use it on land 6. And then I don't need to use... Actually, you know, that is maybe better. Use it on here for basically the same reasons, so that they don't, like, rebuild a town, but the added beast in there is actually required, so that I can use Water's Taste of Ruin. And then the only thing I have left is my innates. And usually... I would try to get to downgrades here, but how? Like, I could start by moving Dahan out of here. I wouldn't hate it. Push into there in preparation for next turn. The issue is I cannot really act in these lands. That is just the typical Serene Waters problem. That pushing into these lands doesn't do anything. I'm still thinking maybe I just nuke that land a little bit. You know, why not do that? So I'll set that to animal. I'll sanguinary tainted, one fear, kill that town, push that Dahan into here, downgrade that. There's still plenty of cities to go around, so sadly they will still get adjacency builds, but you know. Actually, there might not be. We'll see. So that was my slow. And then we reclaim and we gain and we draft a major. That's gonna solve everything. I mean, look at this. I mean, those are some good cards, but they are hardly an element. I'm forgetting Roiling Book, right? Most an element would be Sleep and Never Awaken. It's not a bad card. It's not a bad card at all. Use it on something like land 4, and you've solved a Ravage that didn't need solving. What if I use it on land 6? What if I do that? And that land would be saved. And I could use my full Water Sister Ruin on something else. Maybe that is good. I mean, the land would still be an issue next turn, but I can still save it next turn the same way I saved it this turn. Is there a trot towards a Consuming Void play here? I mean, if I play just that card, then land 6 is gonna go through and add 1 blight. And then? I'm not sure. I'm never gonna hit that threshold, so it's basically just a different version of Paralyzing Fright. The worse version of Paralyzing Fright with better elements in return. And there's the Jungle Hungers. Which, I mean, I suppose I could play. But it would cost me too much. So I'm thinking Sleep, perhaps? It's not really what I wanted to see, and that I really wanted the power that clears the land, but it's hard to be upset about a skip. And against England, you could come into get into the situation where you just skip every turn and then they start outbuilding and outpacing you. But I think against Scotland that should be fine. Scotland also adds a lot of plastic with that stupid Scotland 6 rule, but otherwise. So I'm thinking Sleep and Never Awaken and do that perhaps. And then next turn, I draft a card, go for top, and have a weak turn. That seems awkward too. And then the turn after, I go into Reclaim Loop or something else like that. Or something close to Reclaim Loop. Maybe. Maybe. There's also the world in which I play this together with these two cards. Or something like that. And then next turn I can hit Horus Sister Ruin because I've already established that this turn I don't really need it then. But the issue is Wreck doesn't do anything on this board because everything is gonna have cities. And Tormenting Rod plays my ass. Next turn board state is gonna be terrible. Is an issue. That's gonna have a city. That's gonna have a city. That's gonna have a city. I guess that's not gonna have a city, but still. That would be solved. And I would have to solve that with my innate. Which is pretty bad at it, because Sanguinary Taint doesn't kill cities with Serene, and my Dahan are not in position to, because it's all on the bottom side of the board where there are no Dahan, and Dahan movement is my primary way of downgrading cities to towns. That's gonna be rough. Also, I'm not in land 7 and not in land 3. And Serene Waters. And then there's the line of play where I do something like this. Let's say. And then next turn I reclaim Bloodwater and Bloodlust. And I don't take the 3 energy after all. Is that fine? I don't know, man. That doesn't kill anything, and I feel board state needs to improve. So I think we're just gonna do a strong turn now, weak turn next turn, which I think I'll survive on the back of my strong turn this turn, and then when the coastal ravage is up, a strong turn again. And I think that should work. I'll have two powerful effects on the coastal ravage. That should be okay. Let's hope for the best. So I'll sleep whenever I can. That land. Removes 2 explorers for a fear, which, you know, could be useful eventually. There's some cutoffs where that actually means Water's Taste of Ruin is easier to use. So that is that. Then Boon of Corrupted Blood. I don't know, maybe kill that. I still have the full strength of Water's Taste of Ruin. And I think land 3 seems good for that. Sorry, land 2 seems good for that. This is going to adjacency build. Yeah, that is the downside of that. What if I do it the other way around? What if I use it on here? And I solve that land the way I used to I thought I was gonna solve it. And then there's no adjacent city and land 1 doesn't. But they're gonna get... That is an issue for the turn after, I think. They're gonna have a town anyway. So let's do that. And then where's my best use of Water's Taste of Ruin? Probably land 8 in terms of what damage I could do. I could do it here. I'd have to gather the beast from land 3. Would clear the land. That seems good. So I do 1 damage there with Boon of Corrupted Blood. Do I do that actually? It wouldn't even clear the land because there's no explorer in there, man. I'm so sad. I could use it on land 3, that seems so sad. I could use it on land 7, that seems so sad. Land 7 is also not a coastal land, so who cares? But I mean, it would be 1 less city, right? I think I'm using it on here. Although, do I? Is there any way to prevent that? No, only if there's no adjacent town, so... I'm just gonna take that blight, that's what I'm thinking. But I'd rather not also take these 2 blight. I think I can prevent that blight and snow. No, I cannot because they're going to... Because they're going to explore into that. My endgame is hard. I wish I had an explorer in there. Maybe I push that? I'm not sure. I'll just do it in here. Okay, so 1 damage to a town. Using Boon of Corrupted Blood. Nah, 1 damage in here. Just to be sure. Then, Water's Taste of Ruin on land 2. Am I sure I don't want to skip that? Whatever. I'm so unsure this is good. Alright, I guess we're doing... Oh, whatever, let's just do it now. Gather that beast. To fear. The Dahan kills a town, and then I push either a Dahan or a town. Which, you know, push that town into here and downgrade it, I suppose. And I still have, like, I don't know, look at that. Does that seem like a good board state? Doesn't to me. Alright, let's flip the event. Smaller pots bring up. On each board with exactly 1 coastal city. I hate that event, and I'm happy that I've gotten that I don't have any cities. Stricken and lands with stuff, invaders, skip ravage actions. Okay, that would have been really nice next turn, maybe. Choose a land with town and Dahan. Push 1 town per 2 Dahan there. That is actively good here, and I'm happy about it. Push that into here. That is actually beautiful. So the event was net positive, which rare thing to say about an event, but... And I get to add a strive to a land with... Yeah, I'm not really in lands where I can strive. My lands are the lands I can downgrade in, so shit in my land tends to die. I don't know. Surely the city's gonna come up again? Surely that town's gonna come up again? I know what my next explore is gonna be, but I cannot strive any relevant thing. Whatever, let's just add it here. Removes one, sure. I take the removal. Explore. Oh my god, that is so good. That is insane. That solves a lot of my problems. Alright, so let's start. Land 4 doesn't do anything, and Ravage Land 6 doesn't do anything, but it adds a town. I think that is skip 2. I'm not 100% sure if that is an invader action, but I assume it is. Maybe it's an adversary action, I don't know. I'm just gonna rule that Sleep and Never Wake can skip the town add in land 6. And if it's wrong, you let me in the comments, I suppose. And then I build in land 4, and the disease gets removed, and then they flip the coastal card. And usually I'd get a town in here in every one of these, and that would be so annoying. But my god. Quarantine, pretty good card sometimes. And then in slow, Badwater and Bloodlust. Do I even have anything for that? And the answer is depends. I think I would like... I still have that city in land 6, so I think I'm gonna add it in land 1, so they don't adjacency build. They are gonna adjacency build in land 3, but I mean, what will you do? Maybe I kill that city in land 4. I don't know how. And then I think I was Sanguinary Taint here, right? Kill that town. What happened to the Explorer in here? I killed it. Why did I do that? Do I reclaim here? I mean, I might. Could just reclaim. But would that be good? If I reclaim, I can skip this. I cannot skip that. I cannot skip it due to... But I wouldn't need to skip it. Would solve land 7. Could solve both of these, honestly. And since the fear card just solved my entire coastal problems, I think I just reclaim here. Oh, that would need... I could not afford to play that though. It costs 5 energy to play Sleep and Never Awaken together with 2/1 costs. So I kind of really need to take a turn that is not a reclaim, just so I get some energy back. And the options are to take a normal turn, but that just takes 2 blight. I think I'm in good enough position that I can reclaim here. Due to that fear card mostly. Draft a card. Alright, there's at least, like, I really would like to see 0 costs, but I'll take Pact of the Giant. I also would really like another card that has Animal and Fire. So what do I need to do here? I cannot play Sleep. I will lose that presence in here. But I can afford to play these 3, and then next turn I need to do a real turn. Sorry, a turn that where I don't reclaim. But I think next turn is gonna be better since Coast is in such a great state now after the... So here's another question. Should I play Wreck here instead of that? And I think the answer is yeah, I probably should, right? And I'm gonna have a town there that I want to wreck. Yeah, I'm not sure where I stand if I don't hit Quarantine here. It's probably a bunch more blight, but still a win, I'm not sure, but it would have looked a lot worse. Alright, let's do that. I'm going to... Sorry about that. Going to use Spoon of Corrupted Blood. Water Taste of Ruin on land 7. I don't have any beasts together, so I'm gonna just do this town and this explorer, kill that city. 2 fear on top of that, and then I push this into here and this into here, this downgrades. I push that blight into here. I gather that blight into here. And I still have 1 ping damage somewhere. I suppose killing that explorer wouldn't be bad, as long as there's 1 explorer in the land, that's honestly enough. What else am I gonna do? Play it on a different board is usually the correct answer here. But you know, true solo and all that. So, I'm terror level 2, and I'm stage 2 fortification. After advancing invader cards, I get an extra build. Okay. Each beast deals 2 damage. I mean, that is a great beast payoff, but would you look at my board? I guess I'm doing 2 damage to that city here. I don't want to lose that beast. And then I get to add a free Dahan to a mountain or a sands with Dahan. I think I'd like one here. I still don't have any kind of Dahan coverage of the bottom half of the board, but I mean. So let's look at the invader cards. Restlessness, I'm terror level 2. I get to push some towns. I don't really know how that helps me. So I guess I'm not gonna do it. I think if I push the town and the explorer out of here and then I get a card that lets me add strife where I have presence, then I can solve round 4. Is that worth gambling for? I mean, what else am I gonna do, right? Let's just push them all into land 8. That's the opposite of pocketing, but I mean, I'm not gonna put it at the cost. So, I could also push into land 5 perhaps instead. Yeah, let's push into land 5. Seems fine too. Land 5, that's a lot easier to kill, to like drive by, push it down and downgrade stuff in. Alright, and then each player removes a town from a land with the heart. It was not anything that solved that. So I'm thinking if I remove that town, I mean, it's the only town I can remove. No, I could also remove a town in here, but I'm thinking land 6 seems good. Which, land 6 I completely did not solve. Wait, where did that 2 damage come from? Oh, in the event. Yes, I'm taking 2 blade here, I just did not pay attention. Wait. I knew that. I'm just lost to Dahan because I didn't pay attention to that land, huh? My god. Not my finest game. So we flip. Blighted Island. Still gonna win though. Sure, that's added. Blight. And then I get like 300 new towns. Thank you, Scotland. And then I build in land 3 and these 2 lose the disease. And then I explore into jungle. And then I get the escalation, which adds a town to land 1, because where else? And then I build. When does that happen? Before exploring. So I could add it here too. And I'll do that. And then this will build under 1 terrain type. As long as it's mountain. Mountain is what I decided. I think it goes here. Okay, and then my slow wreck. Let's push that into here. Alright, that land is solved. Presumably. And then Bloodwater and Bloodlust and what is that singular change? Bloodwater and Bloodlust maybe into here? I'm not sure, but I would like to not have a city, and I'm gonna clear that land out, so. Although I wouldn't hate it in there as well, because it's gonna have adjacency builds. Although maybe I'll just sleep that. And then do it the turn after. Yeah, that seems good. I'll sleep that and solve that the turn after. Alright, so land 5 is diseased. And then I still have Sanguinary Taint. 1 damage, 1 damage. 1 beast, 1 extra, and then push a Dahan into here and downgrade that town. Seems good, right? I suppose downgrade means replace with Explorer, but, you know. Arguably I should have downgraded an Explorer there. You know, let's do that. I think it's easier to solve a land that has 2 towns and 2 Explorers than one town and 4 Explorers. Time passes. Alright. Gain. Take the 3 energy growth. I need presence again. I need it in here and I need it in here. Am I gonna hit my water system ruin? No, absolutely not. Whatever. So. Do I have to remove though? No, I don't have to remove any explorers, so I'm not gonna remove any explorers here. I'm gonna just skip all actions. And then I get to gather a beast. Sure, let's have that in here. And that was my quick. Very impressive. Life balance tilts. That is such an event. I mean, it cost me nothing to take bottom. I have enough beasts, so I don't mind the disease. Extra invader health? Whatever, man. It would be annoying, but I think it would be alright too. So I think I'm taking bottom, right? I don't want to flip into Blighted Island. And yeah, I would kill a bit more if I go top, but I don't want to flip into Blighted Island. So, bottom is free. I remove, say, I don't know, that beast, and I add a disease to some land. Like here. Nice. And then I draw Carpus land, which means I remove a blight. Sure. Let's remove it from, say, here. And then Invaders and Dahan have more health. I have a fear card. Mimic the Dahan. I get to replace a town. I think I'd rather do that here. And then there. And then, that was pretty good. Then in coast, this gets skipped and nothing happens. And also the Scotland 6% trigger in coastal lands. Then I skip here and nothing happens, and I use that disease in here. And then, yeah, 1000 small struggles. I did not mention that, but it just does not trigger. This is starting to look like one of the games where the invader action economy just overtakes mine, and I need to rush the fear deck, but I'm pretty far away from the fear victory here. Alright, and then I should remember life balance tilts. These kind of delaying powers, man. Added disease. It's just a delay tactic, right? I could also use it for like 4 fear if I wanted to. Maybe that is good. I have level 1 of Sanguinary Change, and I could use it on here. Seems good, right? And then I think I might just use Tormenting Rock Class here. Sorry. Can't. Use it there? No. I guess that means it's 1 less fear. Sure. Use it for 3 fear instead of 4 fear. And then Pact of the Joint Hunt. Actually, invaders have extra health. Which means that there's still a damaged explorer in here. Whatever, so be it. The downgrade still worked. And then there's Pact of the Giant, which I think gathers like this into here and downgrades that city, and then does an insignificant amount of damage. Okay. That was that. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 more fear cards, and then I think I can get rid of all the cities. Probably. Reclaim, gain 1 extra energy, gain a minor. Finally, I start seeing some cards that have good things. Out of these, probably Inflame. It's pretty good. The Strife is good against cities. The Dahan movement, counter migrate, I was thinking about as well. So, I could play something like this if I wanted to. Would hit all of my elements. Would solve land 2, right? Gather a beast, kill like almost everything, and then push the town and the explorer. Push the town in here, push the Dahan into there, downgrade. That solves everything. Would have corrupted blood on top of that. Yeah, that seems good. So, what is Taste of Ruin? I gather a beast. Let's gather this beast. The town and the explorer die. Also, I get 2 fear. And then I push the town and the Dahan. Push the Dahan into here. Downgrade that. Actually, maybe push the Dahan. Maybe keep that. Push the Dahan into here. Downgrade that instead. And then push the town into here. Downgrade it as well. And then here, I might just use Boon of Corrupted Blood, and then that land should be safe. I think I can, for safety, also gather that into here. And that looks like Zero Blight taken this turn. Are they gonna build a shit ton? Yep. Is it gonna be ugly? Yeah. Can I do something about it? Maybe. Local Diaspora. Sure, I think it hits this land, so I get to push. It's pretty bad about that land, because that is just saved. But I do get the Beast Fear payoff event, so maybe that's fine. So, I want to push an Explorer into here, I want to push an Explorer into here, let's push that town into here. And I guess an Explorer into here. That was that. Then, each fear either generates a fear or moves. 1, this moves. 2, this moves. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 fear. I've had more with this event, but I'll take 4 fear. Especially in a victory rush scenario, right? Alright, push to the hand from a land with blight to a land without blight. Gladly. Something like that. To a land without blight. I suppose that means I can only choose 1 land. In that case, let's push them both into here, perhaps. And then let's see if my 3 fear cards can save that land. Removes 1 stuff from a land with... Sure, I can. It feels bad removing that explorer though, but I'll do it, just to be sure. A lands... Scapegoats. A lands with buildings destroy 1 explorer per town and 2 per city. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not so okay with that in some lands, like Land 8, because I kinda need explorers for... That is it. Water Taste of Ruin, but maybe I just skip that land or something. Flee from dangerous lands. Remove 1 town from a land with Dahan. Alright. 1 less city. And then we ravage. This dies. Then they build. Actually, I do get a town respawning here. I should remember that. I think I've forgotten 0 respawning Scottland towns though. So at least in that regard we're doing well. So it seems like we're going just for the city victory here. There's 2 cities on the board. That should be solvable. And I am pretty close in terms of... What is it? Fear. Alright, then I have a slow action. Inflame. Inflame would be a backup option to solve one of my cities. I'm thinking I'm clearing land 1 perhaps. This doesn't kill a city though. So perhaps I'm clearing land 6. Yeah, so let's start with that. 1 beast, kill that, push it to Han, downgrade that city. Okay, I only have 1 city left on the board. That was Sanguinary Taint level 2. Then the question is, do I get enough fear? And the answer is yes. So the rest is irrelevant. Wreck with Pain and Grief. I don't know. Push this into here, push this into here. Downgrade this in the process. And then Inflame, sure. Just do it like that. And that was my slow. And I'm 3 fear of the city victory. And let's, I don't know, reclaim. Gain. Play these cards, cause why not? Man, this was an unreasonably hard game. Also, this card has to have water. So let's make it this card. I suppose it doesn't have to have water, because I'm not gonna get to slow, but whatever. Let's just use this card instead. Means I get back to energy. Alright. I'm gathering this beast into here. This Tahan and this Explorer kill that city. 2 fear. I win the game. Man, that game was hard. That game felt really hard. I think I made a mistake by not spotting that I was gonna take 2 Ravages there. I think I also lost Dahan there, which I maybe had forgotten to remove. Or maybe I did remember. No, I think I just added a Blight there and killed my presence instead of killing the Dahan. So I also made a mistake there. So I made a couple of mistakes. Probably also some I didn't spot, I remember in hindsight. And I must have made some mistakes for the game to get this hard. Like in the world in which we don't hit 4 extra fear on last turn's event, I think we're still fine. I think if I really want to, I can survive the Ravage. Like this, here I didn't like try to do anything about that, right? But I think I could have solved at least like 3 of the lands, like skip 1 in this quick and then solve another one with Serene Ruin in this quick, and that means last slow I would only have had to, I don't know, solve land 1 and then I can let land 8 go, and then I can win 2 cities the turn after. So I think I had the win there even if I don't hit the 4 fear event. But man, did this game feel hard. Yeah. I don't know, I feel Serene really didn't pull us right here. I had struggled with cities and Sanguinary, and Sanguinary is usually so good at cities, but not if you're Serene. Maybe it would have been hard going full Roiling too, but also there was this turn 3, where I had to play weird cards or couldn't use some good lines of play because I needed to heal water. And then of course my drafts were, like in my first 2 minor drafts I only saw garbage. So that was kinda hard too, although that card was at least 3 fear once that ended up contributing. Still like overcosted at 1 energy, but you know, was a hard fought victory from my perspective. GG.